For this video, I want to talk about how my dreams revealed my true desires. Um, yeah, so I feel like it's a long journey, so I'll just start at the beginning. Um, so basically, the backstory. It starts like whenever I was in high school or junior high, I guess the beginning of my life, really, just like being raised. I started off really uh, um, driven, and I realize now it's like psychologically it's high conscientiousness on the ocean personality psychology test. But anyways, I've always been like sort of driven to do different things. So in school, it played out as me getting good grades and doing all these different extracurricular activities. It's because of like the level of how driven and how I always want to work on projects. Maybe it's a trauma response to emotions I don't know how to deal with. It's that too, but that's not what this video is about. So anyways, I've always been driven, but it's always showed itself in realistic and possible goals. And it wasn't anything too ambitious. It was just like every 6 weeks get a good grade reports, like things that are measurable, goals that you can see, things that can be tangible and actual. So I always felt like a need to be responsible, and I felt guilty and I felt ashamed if I wasn't that way. So yeah, that's how I was in high school. That's how I still continue to be and sort of struggle with sometimes. So in college is whenever I started having the dreams that would really shift my perspective, made things change, made me feel really guilty for the desires that I realized I had. And I think it's because whenever you start to look at your dreams really intentionally, you're going to realize that it's like a playground for your subconscious. Things that you don't want to deal with, things that you haven't processed fully, things that you are intentionally pushing away. Your subconscious, things that you aren't actively thinking about. Subconscious, conscious is you're here, present. Sub, it's like not here, it's the secondary. So anyways, I started to have a bunch of dreams in college once I was diving into, or at least opening myself up spiritually, to more ideas, to God, to loving myself, to being whole, to being full, to knowing who I am, why I'm here, what I represent, who I want to be as a person, what I want out of life, what I want to give in life. So yeah, I was taking a deep dive introspectively inside of myself, and trying to figure out who I am and who I wanted to be. So with that, it caused me to dive into my wounds, into my pain, into desires I didn't even know I had. So yeah, my whole life, like I said, everything had to be possible, everything had to be like responsible. Like it felt constricted in the sense of like it has to be proven. So let's say like a doctor or a lawyer's job, like that's a proven way to success, and that's what is good. It's a good thing to want those things. But as I was having dreams in college, opening up myself spiritually to myself, to something greater than me, I started to realize that my true desires were deeper than what I wanted them to be. So I wanted to be, at first I went to college to be an engineer, and that worked out great because you could be creative in a sense, and then you could also use thinking, which I feel like I think a lot more than I'm in touch with my emotions. So yeah, those two things that I had were going for me in that sense. But the deeper I dug into myself, the more I realized what I actually wanted, and I hated the fact that I wanted that because it went against what I used to believe was what I was supposed to want. And I was supposed to want a career path that was straightforward and logical and made sense. And the more I dove into my psyche, I realized that those weren't the things that I wanted at all. Those were the things that I was supposed to want. And because I was so interested in making the people around me proud, like my mom, my dad, my outer family, like they were proud of me for going to college. And not really a lot of people in my family went to college. And so I felt ashamed for wanting to be creative, and I felt like I wasn't good enough, and nobody told me that, but I felt like that was going to be the response I was going to get, because my whole life people were telling me I was proud of me because this path that I had for myself was set out in stone, and like, okay, that's going to be success, that's going to make you money, and that's going to make you happy. Maybe that's what people believe about that, or at least it'll make it'll make the stresses that a lot of my family's gone through, because there wasn't money around. So it's like, okay, you make the money, you won't be stressed, you'll be good, you'll be okay. We want you to be okay, we want you to take care of yourself, which is all good intentions. But by diving deeper into who I was, I realized what I actually wanted was to be a creator full time. And now eventually with this whole channel, creating the vision of dream walking, which is to help creators eventually in the future, maybe 20 years in the future, have my own clothing company in 5 years, 10 years. And so those desires for myself are something that I really want to do, and I felt like nothing else in this world is anything that I would want to do. And the way I got to those was by having dreams where it was my subconscious awakening as I was praying and meditating on it, asking to reveal itself so that way I could become whole. And as I became whole, it was revealing itself and flowering and opening up. And at this point, I've had, by today, I've had at least 50, 60, 70, 80 dreams of me doing creative things in the future, me doing creative things that I'm now doing, me doing the resale business. So there's been dreams all along the way, almost mapping out everything that I want to do. And it first showed itself in my dreams as the subconscious waking up and saying, like, me talking to myself, like, Jeremiah, this is what I want. And my first response was to push it away, because it's like, no, my family's not going to accept that. I don't want to accept that. That's not good enough. It doesn't make me enough money right now. I need to be successful right now. And it was wrapped up in my need to be accepted by people, and my need, for all types of things like that. The dreams that I had were me creating music, releasing music, designing clothes, being a freelance inventor that gets paid by companies to innovate their products. And all of these things were revealed to me in my dreams. And once I saw those things as them being a possibility, I started to get excited just thinking about them for my life. And I've had them so often, so frequently, that it feels like, it's like every time I see it, that's what I want. And I feel like if I did anything else, I would hate myself for not doing what I wanted. So now that I feel like not all of myself, but more of myself is whole and more of myself is complete, is like I can look at problems and situations with my entire being, and with all of myself looking at a problem and being like, this is what I want, or seeing something and knowing whether it's for me or not. As I was pushing myself to become whole and pushing myself to seek deeper understanding of who I am and what I want out of life and how I am, I came to the conclusion that I want to be a creator and I want to create full time. And it also, just a little side note, in some of my dreams that I was having in college, it pointed me towards the direction of changing my major from engineering to business management, focused on entrepreneurship, so creating businesses, right up the alley of creating anyways. And so, I adjusted my career path. I chose business management with a focus in creating businesses. And now that I'm on the other side of that in college, I'm living my actual life. I'm seeing how all those things connected and how they're still connecting into me creating this channel, creating the 20-year vision I have for myself, and helping creators, the 5 and 10-year vision I have for myself for just being a creator, and the 1-2-year goals I have for freeing my time and making enough money so that way I could become a full-time creator. This is basically how my dreams that I had at night awakened who I am, so that way I could dream in the present, so that way I could have a dream that matched how I am, how I operate, what I'm good at, where my skills are, where my interests are, where my desires are, and everything was shown to me in my dreams. And maybe not everybody's like that. Maybe not everybody has that intuition or that those strong dreams or that need for an abstract sense of reality that matches this reality. But I know that I really needed it, and that's how I think and that's how I process the world. So this is how my dreams revealed my true desires.